Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel Mathematic Girl Swati 3226. So today the topic is quadratic equation, and in this particular video I'm going to solve the quadratic equation questions. So many students find quadratic equation little difficult, but it is not. It just demands your practice and the concept. So I'm going to teach you the concept as well and the questions as well. So this video is actually a practice video. You can say like practice questions that I'm going to do for you. So you can just have a look at each of the questions and you can understand how can we solve all the quadratic equation questions very, very easily. All right, so let's start with the first question. Okay, before we start with the first question, let me tell you what is the quadratic equation. So quadratic equation basically looks like this. This is the general form, and that is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. It's very important in a quadratic equation that we should have at least this term. If this term is not there in the quadratic equation, then it is not a quadratic equation. It will become a linear equation. If like if you are getting a form like 2x plus 3 equals 0, that is not a quadratic equation. So the quadratic equation main thing that one should notice is that it should have the degree 2 on the variable. Okay, so this is the general form. In today's video, we are going to do the quadratic equation questions using middle term split. So there is one more way to solve the quadratic equation question, that is using the quadratic formula. But here I'm going to solve all the questions on like by using the middle term split. Now, with this video, I also want to tell you one more thing, and that is I'm actually trying to make a video of 100 plus quadratic equation questions, but of course 100 plus questions will not be possible in just one video. So I'll be making different parts. So I'll try to cover as many questions as possible in this particular video, and my my aim is to cover 100 plus questions in my 2-3 videos for the quadratic equation. So let's get started with the first question in today's video. And the question is x square minus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. So this is the quadratic equation that we are given. We simply have to find out the value of x. Okay. So what we can do here, we will write down x square minus. So here there is one rule, and the rule is you have to multiply the coefficient of x square and this constant. So what is the coefficient? Nothing, that means 1. And this is 12. So 1 into 12 is 12. Now you have to write down the 12 as a factor. Like you have to just write down 12 as, 5 plus, you can say 7, 6 plus 6, 8 plus 4. But you have to write it in such a way so that you will get this term that you can see in the middle. Okay, this is the only thing that we have to follow. So what is the first thing that I did? I multiplied the coefficient of x square with 12, the constant, that is 1 into 12 is 12. And now this 12 I have to write down in such a way so that I'll get down this middle term. That is why the name of this method is called middle term split. All right, so let's do this. So 12 I can write down as simply what we can do here is 12. There are so many ways we can write down 12, right? But I will just write down in one second in this way. Yeah. So I will write down this as 4, 4x and 3x, right? So if I multiply this 4 and 3, I'm getting 12, right? And if I subtract this 4x and 3x, this will become minus 7x, right? So I can write down at the place of minus 7x, minus 4x, minus 3x, and then plus 12 equals 0, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just from the first two terms, I'll take x common. So I'll get x minus here, x I have already taken outside, so 4. Minus from this 3x plus 12, I'm going to take 3 common. So inside bracket, we have x, and then of course, minus I have taken outside, and inside we have plus here. So minus into minus will be only plus, so it is minus. So 3 times 4 is 12 equals 0. Now you can see here that x minus 3 and here x minus 4 and here x minus 4 is there. So this x minus 4 I'll take common. So once I'll take this x minus 4 common, I'm left with this x and then minus 3. So x minus 3 equals 0. Now we know that if the product of two terms equals 0, then we have either the first term 0 or the second term 0. So x minus 4, 0, x minus 3, 0. And from here we can say that x is equal to 0 plus 4, that is 4. And x minus 3 equals 0. That means x is equal to 0 plus 3, that is 3. So this is the answer of the first quadratic equation. Now let's move to the second question. So this is the next question, and it is y square plus y minus 20. So y square plus y minus 20 equals 0. So we need to find her the value of y. And of course, it is a quadratic equation because it has the degree 2. So what I'll do here, of course, you can see 1 times 20 is 20, right? And here I have to bring plus y, right? So if I take 5y minus 4y, 5 minus 4y is of course plus y, that is plus 1y. So I'm getting that, and I'm also getting 5 times 4 as 20. So this is called middle term split. So you can write down this as y square plus 5y minus 4y minus 20 equals 0. From the first two terms, I'll take y common. So I'm left with y plus 5. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. And then okay, so multiple colors are coming. Anyway, so here I'll take minus 4 common, and then inside the bracket we have y, and then minus is, outside the bracket, and if you have put a bracket, you have to change the sign. So this will become plus is equal to 0. Okay, so remember, we know that minus into plus is minus. That is why it should be plus only, because if I write down here minus, it will become minus into minus plus. Now, of course, y plus 5 is common. So if I take y plus 5 common, I'm left with y minus 4, and that is equal to 0. Again, using the same technique, you can say if the product of two terms zeros, that means either of the term will be 0. So y plus 5 is 0. This implies y plus 5 is equal to 0, or y minus 4 is equal to 0. So this will become y equals 0 minus 5, that is minus 5, and here y is equal to 0 plus 4, that is 4. So that is why this is the answer. Okay. So I just don't understand how sometimes, I select the pen, but it does not work. Anyway, let's move to the next question. So this is our next question. X square minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. We need to find out the value of x, of course. So let's start with the solution. So now I'll directly solve the answer, solve it over here only. So this is x square. Of course, this is 1 into 10, that is 10. So I have to write down this minus 7 in such a way so that I'll get 10 as well as I'll get minus 7. So of course, 5 into 2 is 10. And if I do minus 5x minus 2x, it is also minus 7x. Plus 10 equals 0. So here x common, and this will become x minus 5. And here minus 2 common, so this will become x minus 5. Now I'll of course take x minus 5 common. So I'm left with x minus 2. And again, using the same formula, either of the term will be 0. It implies either of the term is going to be 0. So x minus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So from here, we are getting x equals 5, and from here, we are getting x equals 2. So this is the answer. All right, so we have done 3 questions. Now let's move to the fourth one. All right, so the fourth question is we have x square plus x minus 56 is equal to 0. So here, of course, 56 we need to get. So what I'll do here is 8 times 7 is 56. And of course, 8 minus 7 will be 1 also. So I can write down here x square plus 8x minus 7x minus 56 equals 0. Now here x common, so x plus 8. And then minus 7 common here. So here it will become x plus 8. Now I'll take here x plus 8 common. So if I'll take x plus 8 common, I'll leave with x minus 7. and that is equal to 0. And if the product of two terms zeros implies either of the term is 0. So x plus 8 equals 0. So that means x is equal to minus 8. And x minus 7 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 7. So in maths or in, even in this topic, I just want to tell you one thing, that when we do one question, when we, like when we start with the first question, we feel like this is difficult. But as soon as you, do more and more questions, you will feel like, that, okay, I'm, slowly and gradually understanding, and you will have that confidence as well that, okay, I'm getting the correct answer only. So remember, in mathematics, practice, plays a very big role. So make sure you are practicing enough. All right, let's go to the next one. X squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. So here this will become, I should get here 6, right? And here it is minus x. So what I can do here is x squared. If I do minus 3x plus 2x, am I getting minus x? Yes, I'm getting minus x. And I'm also getting minus 3 into plus 2 is minus 6. So that is perfect. Now from the first two terms, I'll take x common, so x into x minus 3. And from the last two terms, I'll take 2 common, so x minus 3 equals 0. Now if I take x minus 3 common, I'll leave with x plus 2 equals 0. And again, using the same rule, x minus 3 is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0. And this implies x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 2. And that's the answer. All right, now we can go to the next question, question number 6. So we have in question number 6, p square minus 5p plus 6. P square minus 5p plus 6. Here again we have 6 only, but this time it is minus 5p. So what we can do here is we will write down p square as it is. I can write down minus 5p as minus 2p minus 3p plus 6 equals 0. And now from the first two terms, I'll take p common, so p minus 2. And from this last two terms, I'll take minus 3 common, so inside bracket, we have p minus 2 again is equal to 0. Now taking p minus 2 common, I have p minus 3 here, and then that is equal to 0. And of course, this will imply p minus 2 is equal to 0, or this is the symbol of implies, or p minus 3 is equal to 0. That means p equals 2, 0 plus 2 is 2, and p equals 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so now we can move to the 7th question. Okay, so in the 7th question, we have q square minus 2q plus 1. So q square minus 2q plus 1. So, okay, so what we can do here is, okay, so there is, all right. So, correct. We can write down this as q square as it is, and minus 2q we can write down as minus q, right? Because minus q will give us minus 2q, and then plus 1 as it is, right? Now from here, I'll take q common, so I'm left with q minus 1, and here if I'll take just 1 common, so it will be q, and plus will become minus, because of course we have negative sign outside the bracket, and then 1 as it is equal to 0. I'll take q minus 1 outside, so I'm left with q minus 1. And q minus 1 times q minus 1 is actually q minus 1 square, that is equal to 0. So if q minus 1 whole square is 0, that means q minus 1 is 0. And if q minus 1 is 0, that implies q is equal to 0 plus 1, that is 1. So this is the answer. Now we can move to the 8th question. So in the 8th question, we have 4p square minus 9p minus 9 is equal to 0. Now here, of course, the product is coming 4 times 9, that is 36. So I have to write down 4p square. And if I write down here minus 12p plus 3p, am I getting the product 36? Yes, minus 12 plus 3 is minus 36. And here also 4 into minus 9 is minus 36. So that is perfect. And minus 12 plus minus 12p plus 3p is also minus 9p. And then minus 9 is equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, I'll take 4p common. So I'm left with p minus 3, because 4 times 3 will be 12. And of course, 4p times 3 is 12p. Here I'll take 3 common. So p minus 3 times 3 is 9 is equal to 0. Now I'll take p minus 3 common. So if I take p minus 3 common, I'm left with 4p plus 3 is equal to 0. And this implies p minus 3 is 0 or 4p plus 3 is equal to 0. So p will be equal to 0 plus 3, that is 3, and here this will become p is equal to 0 minus 3 is minus 3, and this 4 will come in the denominator, so minus 3 by 4. That's the answer. Okay, now we can go to the ninth question. So in the ninth question, we have 2y square minus 7y plus 6 equals 0, right? So of course the product is coming 12 because 2 times 6 is 12. So 12y square, and I can write down this as 2y square minus, I can write down 4y minus 3y because that will also give me 12, and that is also giving me minus 7y because minus 4y minus 3y is minus 7y plus 6 equals 0. Now from the first two terms, I'll take 2 common. So 2y common actually. So 2y into y is 2y square, and 2y into 2 will be 4y. Here I'll take minus 3 common. So inside bracket we have y minus 2 equals 0. And now I'll take y minus 2 common. So I'm left with 2y minus 3 equals 0. And this implies y is equal to, like I'm skipping one step, y minus 2 is equal to 0, that means y is equal to 2, and 2y minus 3, I'm just writing this one down. So 2y minus 3 is equal to 0, that means 2y is equal to 3, and that means y is equal to 3 by 2. So we have two answers, y2 and y3 by 2. All right, now we can go to the 10th question. Let's move to the 10th one. So in the 10th question, we have y square plus 9y plus 20 is equal to 0. So I can, I'll just write down this again. Y square plus 9y plus 20 is equal to 0. And here, of course, the product is coming 20. So I can write on y square. I can write on 9y as 5y plus 4y, right? Because that is also giving me 5 plus 4, 9. And 5 times 4 is 20. Okay. So we have done the middle term split. And now plus 20 as it is equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, I'll take y common. So y plus 5. And from the last two terms, I'll take 4 common. So 4 into y plus 5 is equal to 0. I'll take this y plus 5 common. So I'm left with y plus 4 is equal to 0. And this simply implies y plus 5 is equal to 0, as you all know, and y plus 4 is equal to 0. So we are getting two values of y is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to negative 4. So this is our 10th question. Now we can move to the 11th one. So in the 11th question, we have x squared plus 11x plus 28. This is very simple. You know, like when you do practice, you will understand quickly that what number do you have to choose. So here I understood that I have to write down x squared plus 11x. I can write down as 7x plus 4x because that is also giving me 28 if I multiply. And if I add, I'm getting the middle term, that is 11x. So plus 28 is equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, I'll take x common, x plus 7, right? Then only I'm getting x squared plus 7x. Plus here I'll take 4 common, so x plus 7 is equal to 0. Now here x plus 7 is common, so I'm left with x plus 4. And now this implies that x is equal to minus 7 and x is equal to minus 4. That's the answer. Okay, now we can go to the 12th one. We are going to do 15th question in this particular video. Okay, 15 in the first part, 15th, like, you know, maybe more than 15 in the second part. Like that, I'm going to cover 100 quadratic, equation questions. So make sure you watch all the videos. This is my first part, and I'm going to upload all these, parts one by one. Okay, now we can go to the 12th question. So in the 12th question, we have 2 y square minus 9y. Okay, one second. This is the same question. Let me erase this. Yeah. Okay, so the question was 6y square minus 13y plus 5 is equal to 0. So again, very simple. 6 times 5 is 30. So I can write down 6y square minus 13y. Minus 13y I want here in the middle term. So I can write down this as minus 10y minus 3y because that is also giving me 30. 10 into 3 is 30. And plus 5 as it is equal to 0. Now from here, I'll take 3y common. So I'm left with 2y. And then here, okay, sorry, 2 I'll take common. So if I'll take here 2 common, inside bracket, we have 3y minus, this will become 5. And here I'll take 1 common. So 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Now, of course, this 3y minus 5 will be common. So 3y minus 5 I have taken common. And I'm left with 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies either of the term is 0. So 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Or 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. So from here, 3y will be 5. So y will be 5 by 3. And here, 2y minus 1 is 0. So that means 2y is 1. So that implies y is half. So the answer is y is 5 by 3 and y is half. All right, now we can go to the 13th question. So in the 13th question, it's a very, very simple question. Y square minus 2y is equal to 0. So make sure you can not see here the constant part, but still it is a quadratic equation. And what makes it quadratic equation? It's that degree that is 2. So here it's very simple. We'll simply take out y common. So I'm left with y minus 2 is equal to 0. And again, we are having the product of two terms zeros. That implies either of the term is 0. So y is equal to 0 and y minus 2 is equal to 0. So first value is of course 0 and the second value is y is equal to 0 plus 2, that is 2. So these are the answer. Okay, now let's move to the second last question for this video, and the question is y square plus 12y plus 36 is equal to 0. So the very first 15 questions that, like I'm doing right now, it's like all the simple questions I have taken. I'll try to increase the complexity in the, later questions. Right now, all the basics and the very simple questions I have taken. Because we should always start from the basic and the easy ones so that we can, try the difficult ones. Okay, so this will become y squared. 12y I can write down as 6y plus 6y because that is also giving me 36. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 36. This process is only called the middle term split. That is it. And as soon as you'll get this step after this, it's very simple. All you need to do is just take out the common. So y is common, so y plus 6. And plus here 6 common, so y plus, of course 6 times 6 is 36. So here y plus 6 is common. So inside the bracket also we are getting this y plus 6 only. So again y plus 6. And that implies y plus 6 whole square is equal to 0. It's nothing but y plus 6 is equal to 0 because square root of 0 is 0 only, and y is equal to 0 minus 6, that is minus 6. And now let's move to our last question of this video, that is the 15th question. X squared plus 11x plus 30. Again, very simple. I really want you right now to pause this video because we have already done 14th questions. So you can pause this video and you can think that what I'm going to write down here, and you can check like whether you have understood this or not by doing 14th questions. And in the 15th question, you can try on your own. And then you can have a look at it, that whether you are correct or not. So yes, you can pause it and then you can solve it on your own. So the answer is x squared plus 30, right? So I can write down 6x plus 5x because that is giving me 11 also, the middle term. And then plus 30 as it is equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, I'll take x common. So x plus x into x plus 6 plus 5 common. So x plus 6 here is equal to 0. Now, of course, we are having x plus 6 here common. And then I'm left with x plus 5 is equal to 0. And this simply implies x plus 6 is equal to 0. X plus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 minus 6, that is minus 6, and x is equal to 0 minus 5, that is minus 5. And that's the answer. So we are done for today. I'm just going to upload the other parts of the video super soon. And thank you so much for watching my videos. I do check your, like requests, the topics that you want me to cover. Yes, I will cover the videos super soon. So don't get impatient. And yes, thank you so much for watching the video and supporting the channel. And yes, again, I'll just remind you, in case you have not subscribed to my channel and you're watching this for the very first time, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and you share it with your friends and families. Thank you so much.